Hello and welcome to ClearlyCast, the go-to show brought to you by the fastest growing Roblox UGC marketplace. I'm your host Reese and I couldn't be more excited to have you join us today whilst we feature Broken Studios on our newest ClearlyCast episode. Broken Studios is a massive Mislim developer. Mislim is a type of product which is featuring in the military category, and Broken Studios thrives there with their hundreds and hundreds of products which they produce for the community. Along with this, we're also going to say how you can grow your store and how to help your sales increase too. Stick around to the end of the episode and you'll know how to expand your profits and your store on our ClearlyDev platform. Of course, on ClearlyDev, we have over 10,000 registered sellers with over 20,000 products available for you to purchase. Of course, if you want to start selling for completely free or take out one of the amazing featured products from this episode on Broken Studios, don't forget to go to clearlydev.com to find your amazing products for your amazing games. On ClearlyCast, each week we'll dive into the mindsets of the top sellers, top communities, and top creators on our Clearly development platform, uncovering their secrets, strategies, and stories that drive their success, just like Broken Studios here today. So of course, talking about Broken Studios, here with me on the couch and set today, we have Broken. So everyone already knows Broken, but who actually are you?
Well, that's a great question. First of all, nice to meet everyone. I'm the current owner of Broken Studios, and our aim here at Broken Studios is to provide the top quality asset for mostly mil sims on Roblox. That's kind of your military side, completely different to most roleplay stores, which is quite interesting.
So I know the Mislim is quite a big sort of community. You've obviously got different sectors. You've got role-playing, Mislim, aerospace, sort of that sort of assets on our Clearly development platform. So how long have you been selling sort of Mislim products for with Broken Studios?
Well, it's been quite a long time now. We started a bit before a year, but I don't really count that because we weren't really, a thing. We were just kind of not making sales. But we started picking up in August last year. From there, it's been such a great journey, just talking to people, store owners, and even going on this podcast is a bit of a treat. So yeah, long time now.
I mean, it's obviously great to hear that you've been on the platform for such a long time. I think everyone at Clearly Development sort of has their own store and has their own sales going on to sort of get themselves familiar. I mean, I myself have been selling since 2023, and as well, I'm not like a seasoned, posting everything on Clearly Development. I am sort of there and I do know how the platform works. So it's obviously great to see other creators and stores like yourself doing extremely well on the platform. So, I mean, obviously been selling on Clearly Development for that long time. How did you hear about us?
There was a company back in the day called Kestrel, which was owned. It was a very, very, very old company, about 2020 time, and 2020, and it was continued on to 2022. And they started utilizing ClearDev for their own store. And I thought, well, it was kind of a no-brainer. You don't have to have a marketing team ready. You can literally just do it as a solo developer. And that kind of attracted me. And then once I started learning more about it, the team, for example, Alex, brilliant person who works at Clearly Dev, I just thought, well, why not start here? It's such an easy way to kickstart your own business. It's insane.
I mean, we have, like you said, everything sort of done for you with, I think one of the main selling points for Clearly Development is their automated SEO for vendors. And I think that's a really good thing when it comes to selling your own things, because you don't have to pay for marketing. It's already done for you on the platform. And all you need is good reviews, a good community, and a good base and lineup of products. Obviously, we've heard about this company selling on Clearly Dev with their immense experience. What was it, 2 years that they did selling for? So what made you want to start on Clearly Dev, apart from obviously the automated SEO and that sort of sector into things? What made you want to start selling?
So it was kind of ironic. It was summer last year, just finished my GCSEs, and my mum was saying, you have to get a job, mate. And I thought, I don't really want to stock shelves at Tesco's because that's the only place hiring where I live. So I thought I could create my own Roblox store because I've been developing for a long time, and my community just died out. So I thought, well, I know what Clearly Dev is. I know how to develop, and I just combined the two. And it's a bit ironic because sometimes when I was starting, I wish I got a job at Tesco's because it was so much more harder at starting up a Roblox store. So many things in the back end that people don't realise. And with ClearDev, though, it's made it a bit more easy to get things done. As I mentioned, the SEO is absolutely amazing. And the back end to set everything up is so clean. So it kind of eased out some of the
I heard about that story about the job thing. Yeah, Lucy had told me about it and I was like, that's quite interesting actually. Because Lucian brought up the fact about bringing Broken Studios onto our ClearlyCast. And I was like, that's a great idea. Why though? And then he told this story and I was like, yep, he's definitely got to come on and show his entire story. So it's obviously great to have you on here as well. And you actually reached out to us, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting us to go to you. But no, it's great to obviously hear that you wanted to come on and share your story and share why you started selling. So with Broken Studios obviously being a massive vendor on Clearly Dev, what is your most sold product?
We have a lot of selling products, but one of the things that we're proud to boast about, and that's our Warfighter engine. So that's an advanced combat system. So for those outside of Milsim, for example, if you're playing a war game, you need the guns, you need a locker system. There's so many things that you need integrated. So Warfighter handles all of that for you, so you can get your game ready to go with as little scripting as possible. We've worked with groups like USM 1960s, which for the OGs out there, we know that has 1 million members in their group, a ridiculous amount of visits. And it was such an honor to work with groups like that, just from one product alone.
And I know that the ACS system, which is the engine basically, is it sort of concepted around different games? Because I'm looking on the website right now and it says like Ready or Not inspired. So I'm just wondering if it's like inspired by these different games, because I've played Ready or Not. You know, is it sort of featured around them gun systems and mechanics?
So yeah, when we were developing the system in general, so with the V2, there's a guy called Joey. So when we were developing the system, we kind of reached out to the community because we believe kind of having that strong relation with community is really, really, really important. So we asked them, well, we have an engine. What do you want it to be based off? So we took off all these ideas, like people said some Ready or Not features. Some people said a lot about optimization, and we put that hand in hand. And the feedback that we got, because we worked with the community, is so great. We have so many 5-star reviews. We have so many compliments about the system because we worked hand in hand. So it's inspired by a lot of different gun engines that we kind of merged into one. And I couldn't be more happy with how it turned out.
I mean, no, it looks amazing. Obviously, I'm looking at your website right now and it says there's a load of 5-star reviews. People are saying that they love it and they use it for their Muslim. And it's, not hard to set up. It's really customizable. And I think that's the main thing that people want. It's easy to set up, no hassle, and you can obviously add and edit your own things into it to make it yours. So I think that's obviously a great selling point of the Warfighter SAS system. And, obviously seems to be doing good. It's your most sold product. So that's obviously great to hear. Now, obviously, selling on Clearly Dev, gets you kickstarted with your own business, and it's obviously great. But why would you pick sort of Clearly Dev for starting off with Broken Studios instead of competitors like Built by Bit?
We chose Clearly Dev because it's a lot more Roblox focused. For example, if you know the history of Clearly Dev did actually start as its own store.
Yeah.
A lot of these marketplaces, you realise they're just marketplaces. They don't know when to be a developer. Clearly Dev, on the other hand, Lucian had his own store. He worked hand in hand with the creators. Other marketplaces simply can't boast that. And just because we thought, well, actually, if something goes wrong and you compare it to competitors like Built by Bit or PayHip, they don't know that much about Roblox as a thing. They didn't originate from that. Meanwhile, you have Lucy and Alex. They're both big creators themselves. If something goes wrong, just reach out to them. They know what to do. And it's just that experience that can't be brought that Clearly Dev has, the team as well.
I mean, I, once again, obviously heard about Lucian's story, and I was sort of shocked when I heard it, when I was like, because we were in a call, and he was like, oh yeah, Clearly Dev started as its own thing, and I was like, what? I didn't know that it had sort of started as its own sort of marketplace that you'd see on Clearly Development themselves. So I was a little bit shocked when I heard about that, and obviously it's grown to this big, massive magnitude of having, 20,000 plus products, 10,000 sellers on it, and along with that also $1 million paid in revenue to people who use the platform. And I think that's what's amazing, is something obviously smaller like that has come into this big massive thing. So what's stopping other creators from doing that themselves? So I think that's what Clearly Dev gives them the opportunity to do that, and I think that is obviously incredible. And that's obviously what's happened with Broken Studios to get to this big massive empire.
Yeah, I was looking because we have our 1 year anniversary coming up, and I've started putting together some facts. And I was looking at the data. We get an order on average every hour and a half, which is insane. Just because we started as something small using Clearly Dev, that has turned us into something amazing. A ridiculous amount of orders. We've done 4,000 plus orders now, an order every hour and a half. It's just crazy to say. And the way that we've been able to utilize Clearly Dev, boost that, it was back end, it's SEO. I don't think we could really be at the same level we are. We'd be a couple months behind, just because Clearly Dev as it is. And another thing that I like about Clearly Dev is most people say that it's just a platform to get money. But when you actually dive into the Discord side of things and you look into it, it's so much more than just a marketplace. Like, for example, you have William and all that in chat being active. You have so many store owners you can just talk to, and they have their own brilliant stories. It's absolutely amazing.
So you've done it. How can other businesses, whether they be smaller or medium size, and groups sort of kickstart their groups by selling on our platform?
First of all, sign up to Clearly Dev. It's not a hard option. Sign up. It's a stream of income. It doesn't matter if you make $5 or 800 or 1,000. It's money. Take it. Sign up to Clearly Dev, man. It's not that hard. That's my first advice. Build up a strong community through ClearDev. I mean, it's easy to get members for your Discord. If you don't know what to do, for example, you can literally just ask me. Ping me in ClearDev chat and I'll help you out. You know, there's so many store creators, so many things you can utilize through ClearDev. I mean, it's the biggest thing that you should sign up to when starting your own company. I mean, it's not something that just should be overlooked and thrown to the side. I'd also say this is a mistake I started. Don't resell on your products, man, okay? Keep everything solely to your company. Be something inspiring. Be something exclusive. Be, you know, that gem in the dirt. Something that sounds so hard to do. But if you use ClearDev, you use your own products. You don't buy or sell, resell. You'll make it. Yeah. Trust me, I've seen so many stores do it. And if you just follow that formula, I'm telling you, you'll do it, man.
I mean, I've obviously seen sellers and vendors sort of selling resells on their Discord and whatever. And, you know, at the start, it might be a thing of like, oh yeah, this is great money. I'm getting people sort of reselling for my products and it's giving me money. But that's only really going to give you money in the short term. If other people are just distributing your products, even if it's for a higher price, essentially their product might be seen first by more people. If they're a more influential store, they're going to get seen first with that product. So, Broken, I completely get what you're saying there. I mean, I've seen it myself. It just not duplications, but just reselling of products. And it sort of creates that entire thing where people in the community think that it's a stolen product. So I get completely what you're saying there, and I almost agree with that. But if people want money in the sort of short term, it could be a good route for people to go.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm not neglecting it. It's ironically, although I'm saying don't do it, it's how I started because I didn't know, you know, what to do. So again, in the short term, go for it. But when it comes to long term, you need to relook at your company and say, we can't continue this in the long term. And I think as long as you rely on Clearly Dev, I think, you know, and you talk to the team and they help you out, you'll be able to push your own unique products. It might be something scary to get onto and invest a lot more money, but trust me, it's a payout so much more. Just use ClearDev. Again, I'm mentioning ClearDev so much, but again, it really can't be overshadowed, man. It is a really
It is good, yeah. And when, I mean, people think when I obviously say that, oh yeah, ClearDev's good, I obviously, some bias is going to be in that, you know, I'm doing this podcast, you know, there is going to be a little bit of bias in there, but when you see the groups and the sellers that are obviously selling on ClearDev earning up like hundreds of dollars monthly or even more, it's not really a biased thing when, you know, there's other people who are doing it. So you sell Muslim products, which for the people who don't know what Muslim is that like military, army sort of based products?
It's military army-based things, and what we've realised now is our products, we're trying to keep some Milsim sides of it, but we're trying to diversify at the same time. For example, we have our own helicopter system, and the good thing about helicopter system is that it doesn't just have to be Milsim-based. You know, if you're doing a police thing, you can use I can't remember what the helicopter is called, police helicopter, and we've even seen Jurassic World groups use that. For example, there's this place called Phoenix International. They get about 100 concurrent players on average. Even more, I've seen them up to 800, almost 1,000, 500,000 visits. And they use our system, which is crazy, you know, to see almost front page games coming to Broken Studios and saying, hey, this is what we want to use. This is what we want to utilize because it's a trusted asset from a trusted store. For example, we're a verified and featured creator. And I think that gives us that bit of trust and that bit of advantage compared to other stores. If you're just an independent seller not using Clearly Dev or not using sites like that, how can people trust you? If you're using Clearly Dev, for example, and get that verified featured store role, that's going to push you in front of your competition. And it clearly has for us as well. So it's such a great feature from Clearly Dev.
I'd say go for stores that are featured or verified because you know either way they've been looked into, they've been looked at, and they're a trusted source. You know, at the end of the day, like when you think of these big companies, it sort of gives you a confidence boost, really. When you see these big sort of game studios creating games, you know, 800 people plus using your system at a concurrent time, it gives you a confidence boost to say, like, that's my products. I can't believe it's sort of in this game.
Yeah, it's a crazy feeling just to have your engine in a game like that. And then, as I mentioned, USM 1960s, we're currently working on a page that we're going to put on our ClearDev banner and all that, games that use our engine, so we kind of can push forward that we're a trusted store. And again, it is an insane feeling just to see front page games coming to Broken Studios and say, hey, can we try this out? Hey, can we buy this, etc, etc, etc.
I think that's also a really good thing as well. Like, make sure that your store's banner, store's logo is good because it has to be visually appealing to customers who purchase your products. And, you know, along with that, it's also got to be your products themselves have got to be visually appealing and also that make consumers want to have that product that they're looking for.
100%. I like that about ClearDev. For example, for one of the sites we use to handle our day-to-day purchasing, you can only upload 10 photos. With ClearDev, there's so many more photos you can upload, so you can get that in-depth look at products that kind of are limited by competition. So I like that aspect of ClearDev, that you can upload a lot more photos. As again, photos are so important to actually trying to sell your product. I'm saying it's one thing that you shouldn't neglect. Get good photos.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously work on as obviously a social media marketer sort of person, I work on, so we do this thing daily where it's sort of product reviews, and then every Monday at around 5 p.m. we do this vendor showcase. So the vendor showcase consists of either top sellers, top vendors that week, and we post them on the Twitter, I think it is, the Facebook and the Instagram, to sort of get people noticing that store and it's a trusted source. We also do this thing where it's called daily product showcases, and the showcases are just the top trending or just top best-selling things of that week, or the most trusted things with the best reviews. We do that day by day. And I think if you do have, I mean, I've seen stores with upwards of 20 product photos on a single product, and I think, blimmin' heck, I have to go through and pick all the photos. But, for them, it's great. And I think the more photos you upload, the more people that trust your products. And when I look at them, because obviously I have to scroll through and just pick a load of products, but when I actually look at the products and I think, that's really good. And I think to myself, yeah. And I think, why aren't other people doing this? Why aren't other people taking this advantage? So obviously having them good photos is going to want people to purchase that product. So I think it's obviously a good thing people should look into. And even if it's just having, a couple of good quality photos that show the good quality parts of your map or your product asset, I think that'll be really good for your brand and obviously for your sales, because it'll make more people want to buy it.
No, yeah, I have to admit, it is a brilliant idea. I was quite happy when I saw it came out. I remember messaging Alex saying, "How long till Broken Studios is featured?" as a joke. So I love seeing innovation within ClearDev, because it's just something that actually helps stores. For example, this podcast, as you mentioned, I reached out to you because there's so many things which ClearDev does just to push forward stores. And as a company, as Broken Studios, we utilize that because we want to push forward our top quality products and say, hang on a second, look at this. This is literally the best version of this product. Come buy from us. And ClearDev simply allows us to do that. Look at this podcast, for example, we're on. That's a prime example.
Yeah, and I think that's the main reason why we wanted to start the podcast. We wanted to start it to grow them smaller brands, to grow them smaller vendors, and I think that's the main reason of why we wanted to do this podcast. And obviously it's working great. The most recent one we had on was J Development, and they are absolutely amazing. They've created this system, this roast cooling system, and it just shows people the work that they put in. And I think it's obviously a great way to show people that you care, because we obviously, within the videos, we do things where we put up the products and we put up what we're talking about. So I think it's a great thing of having those images and just showing people that you care about your product, because that's the main way that you're going to earn that income and earn that sort of, people are going to purchase it, and that's how you're going to earn it.
Photos. It's one thing that does take a lot of time as well, but it's not neglected. For example, we have about 100 maps, 26 historical sets, 56 emergency vehicles, almost 440 products altogether. Getting photos for all of those is so time consuming. But again, it's just something that really, really is worth getting together to set up your company. And it's something that shouldn't be neglected.
I mean, I saw this one guy in the... so if you're a creator on ClearDev, you get access to this Creators Hub. And then that is a lounge where there's, creator stores, verified stores, featured stores are all in there. You can sort of talk to them, to each other. And yesterday, I saw this one guy who had created this sort of animation in Blender. And it was absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah, you were talking about Steel Productions. Oh my god, they have some brilliant looking videos just put together. We're happy that we actually are, unironically, we're working with them at the moment with some of their newer products. Just that collaboration between stores again, because we sell some of their more term products as well. Because I'm good friends with the owner, so that collaboration coming together that you kind of can't see in other industries. I don't know if that happens in other areas of Roblox tech, that happens quite a lot in Milsim tech, that you have stores working together.
I mean, it looked absolutely amazing. I put a comment on it, I replied to him and said, "That looks sick. That looks incredible, mate." And you know what? If you've seen the video, it looks absolutely amazing. And that's the sort of effort that people put into the products on this platform. And I think that's obviously amazing that people do. And those are for the top sellers, the top
100%.
creators.
It's something that we want to utilize as a company as well. We have our own YouTube channel that comments on quite a lot of videos, or you can see us on Twitter at Studios. We're trying to invest quite a lot of money towards videos because we find it's something that we can utilize to push forward products at a different area.
Yeah.
Again, instead of putting just hundreds of photos, you can boil that down to one video. So it's something that we're trying to expand into as a company. For example, our YouTube channel, our helicopter system, you can find that on our channel that showcase all of the features so smoothly and so quickly. Same with Warfighter, how you can apply it to different situations. May that be more of your police sims compared to your more just day-to-day mil sim, which might be deployment map, for example, deploying in Africa with your group. So it allows us to showcase systems in a lot of different environments really, really easily. So definitely.
I mean, no, I obviously see Broken Studios commenting on loads of our, clearly they have posts on Twitter, and I'm like, every time I post, I'm like, right, yeah, Broken Studios is going to comment on that, and I'm like, I'm ready for it. I know what's going to come, but obviously it's great that you are investing so much in videos, because I feel like when you put videos on, people trust that a lot more because they can see it working, whereas if you put product images on, it's like, yes, they can sort of see it, but they can't see it in like real time of what's happening. And I think that's why people with videos do so well, because that's exactly what they do. I mean, obviously if it's a map, you can't really do videos unless it's showcasing the amazing parts, but if it's a system or a vehicle, doing that video is going to boost your sales in the long term, because people are going to look at that and go, right, I know this works. And if it doesn't work, you can easily use the inquire button on our website as well to inquire to that vendor to say, like, I need a little bit of help with this, and they will help you. Or obviously join their Discord server to get that personal support from their support team.
I like the inquire feature. It allows us to sell a lot more products. For example, if you look at conversion rates, which if you're a store owner, is your absolute nightmare. So for example, online stores get about 2% conversion rate. But I was looking at some studies recently, once you add kind of those help features and those live chats, it improves your conversion rate so much. So it's something that we're trying to invest into on our own website, but using it through ClearDepth has allowed us to sell so many more products. I can't count times that people have inquired saying, hey, have you got some videos of this? Or hey, can you just break down how the controls might work? That have then led into sales. So when it comes to conversion rate, sneaky features like that can't be overshadowed.
And especially when you have hundreds of products. I mean, you on your website have over 400, maybe even now 500 products that are selling consistently just on your website. When people look at them, sort of get asked in support, like, oh, do you have a video with this? You sort of have to like backtrack and get the actual asset so you can show it working. Whereas if you have a video there on site and display it, you're not going to get that help, and it'll cut your support sort of need a lot if you just show people how it works. And I think obviously that's why Broken Studios does so good, and I think that's why you are, of course, one of the top sellers on Clearly Development, because you obviously have them videos, you show people how it works. And even with like images, where it be like extremely in-depth images as well, that will help people. I'm not saying don't put images at all, I'm just saying make sure they're like in-depth and actually sort of show people what this does with that little bit touch of detail. So obviously Broken Studios is a part of a Muslim Roblox sort of development community. So with Broken Studios being absolutely massive, you've sort of built this empire. Do you think that obviously with the Waterfire SAS, with your sort of vehicles, whether it be air vehicles, land vehicles, do you think that Broken Studios has innovated that space of Roblox products?
So when it comes to innovation, it's something that we break down quite a lot, and I would say that we have innovated quite a bit. We've kind of changed how Milsim tech works and how it's kind of outlined. For example, we like hosting community events, which might be something odd. How is that innovation at all? But something that hasn't really been hosted that much at all. For example, we had a partnership with Moji, which is another Milsim store that uses ClearDepth not that long ago.
I think.
And we had with Chief as well. So we had our own NASCAR race on Roblox. So it's things like that lead to more sales. Things that you just wouldn't see that much in other industries. And when it comes to innovation through products, we're always looking on how to improve. I mean, we reinvest a ridiculous amount of money into reworking our own products. For example, with our modded Blizzard, I think about 50% of what we've earned off it, we've directly reinvested into updates to keep on top of the game, to keep the engine optimized, to keep the engine with new features, so our customers can always have something to look forward to. So a lot of our budget is just reinvestment for innovation into the company.
I mean, I've actually seen that NASCAR race, and it was obviously sort of a partnered event with, was it 4 sort of studios? You got Muji, Ben Hours, Chief & Co, and obviously yourself, Broken Studios.
There was 2 more, 6 of us. six sponsors, and then we had 50 different races split into 5 different pods. So it was a huge event. Broken Studios, we were commentating with our own little booth as well. I need
Yeah.
to edit the footage for that myself. But it was a really, really, really fun event.
I mean, I'm just looking at it now on obviously the Broken Studios Discord server, and there was a 10,000
Prize for
Robux.
first place, yeah. Sadly, we didn't win that. We came fifth, so we don't get any of that money, which is quite disappointing. But
Yeah.
But I have a question for you. Do you mind if I
Oh,
shoot you a
question
I
for
know.
me.
I
Okay
know.
then. I'm not
table's
used to this
turned.
now. I'm not used to this. Yeah, go ahead.
So ClearDev at the moment, we will admit, is a Roblox platform for
Yeah.
selling Roblox assets. Do you know, a little sneaky insider here, if ClearDev as a platform will expand outside of Roblox into other areas like Minecraft or 5M or
As you
Armor?
know, obviously ClearlyDev is a massive sort of Roblox-based platform. With the SEO on ClearlyDev, it does state that it's the largest marketplace for Roblox, for Armor and 5M products. But you may be thinking like, oh, we don't see Armor and 5M products, which yes, you probably won't. I mean, the landing page of the website says it's the leading platform for Roblox developers. Personally, I don't really know if they're planning to go into that sector. I mean, Lucian will probably, if he sees an opportunity, he'll take that opportunity. And I think that is what is so good about Lucian, is that he does work at that rate so that if he sees it, he'll take it. So if it does come down to, oh yeah, we're going into this sort of space, and he finds that audience for it, then yeah, we most likely will. But with it being not a big audience on ClearlyDev websites, I don't think anytime soon we're going to see that, and it's just going to be primarily Roblox. But obviously, that can change at an instant, whether he sees an audience or not, but it will take a long time for it to grow into a sort of 5M Armor-based platform. So I think for now we're just going to stick with Roblox, and hopefully, maybe one day we will grow, maybe one day, but I think for now we're just going to be doing, a nice little
So
Roblox
I remember you
marketplace.
telling me, how long have you been working at ClearDev for then?
So for about 2 months, this is actually my second month working at
Oh,
ClearlyDev.
really? That is there any? What's your best your favorite part about working at ClearDev? There's something that I've always wondered at because I've always been a seller. I've never been on the ClearDev side of things.
Yeah.
What is your favorite part about working at ClearDev in general? Was it?
So I think my favourite part of working at ClearlyDev is obviously the team around me. I've got Alex, I've got one of our graphic designers, Julian. He's absolutely incredible at what he does. An amazing graphic designer, and obviously we got Lucy in there as well. And I think they're absolutely amazing, really supportive in obviously feedback and everything. I mean, with the last episode in Clearlycast, they were giving me feedback, and whether that be constructive or criticism, it's obviously feedback that I take into account. And they're so useful and so helpful with, managing where stuff goes and how to do stuff, that it's just great to be here. I mean, obviously, again, people might think I have a bias and I have to say this, but no, I genuinely do enjoy being here. And that's why I took that opportunity to come here, because it looked like an amazing place to work. And I did want to work in a place where, there was a really supportive team behind me. And I think that's what you do get in ClearlyDev. I mean, obviously you have Alex. He's an amazing manager. He manages me, the graphic designer. It's also great as well because we're basically all in the same time zone. So that's the great thing about it, is when I'm online, they're online, they can always help me. And even when setting up our YouTube channel, which is a very new thing, it was all done in an instant because Lucian was there sort of doing everything. And I think when you ask for something to be done, within reason anyway, like if you don't expect it to be like a massive thing, that I might not get, but platform things, yes.
No, that speed, efficiency, it's something that all Roblox creators need to be on top of. It's something that we're trying to prioritize, getting new products out. For example, our goal until the end of the year at the moment is to get a new, at least 3 products out every single Monday, which is a big challenge. Uploading them all to ClearDev, uploading them to our own site, but it's a challenge that we're going to have to take to continue growth, and we don't want to sacrifice growth for quality. So obviously these products, although they might seem like, they've been made in a week, that's completely false. We have a backlog of products that I've made a month ago that's just been uploaded to upload on Monday, and then the products that I made a month ago and a bit be uploaded next Monday. So they aren't products that are just being rushed, they're products that are kind of held off launching, so we can get those products out every single Monday until the end of the year, which is going to be something quite exciting to do, trying to get to 1,000 products by I think we want to try and hit 1,000 products by, I think, February next year. So it's an exciting challenge that we can't wait to see. Having 1,000 products on our own website, 1,000 products on ClearDev, seeing a lot more orders, having to deal with a lot more support tickets. But it's a trade-off that's worth it so much.
So would you sort of agree that what is the best time to sell? I mean, I sort of agree that Christmas and sort of them sort of holidays are the best time to sell. That's when people obviously want to pay for stuff and want to buy stuff to increase their game engagement, because that's that's when advertisers advertise around Christmas. There's a big, massive market around that. So it's sort of the same with Clearly Dev, really, is that's when people start buying a lot more because they have a lot more to spend.
What I'd love to see a breakdown from, I don't know if ClearDev could do this, is Christmas sale, like peak that you have in Christmas, or like total volume of assets sold compared to just standard days. It'd be such an interesting thing to break down and look into. I know from my personal experience, December for us last year obviously weren't that big of a store, but compared to our average month when it came to ClearDev sales and PayHip sales, it was just worth it. We got a lot more sales. Again, utilizing ClearDev, I think our ClearDev sales doubled in December. So definitely having a store in ClearDev, that's double the income that you could get from just being signed up to ClearDev alone during Christmas month. So it's going to be exciting to see how Christmas sale affects our sales in December later this year, which is going to be something quite exciting. I think another day that's quite, overlooked and that you have every single day is July 4th. Sorry, that
Independence Day
in America. I don't know what it was with July 4th, but it was our best day the best day of sales. I think on July 4th. Let me look at this. We had such a boost in sales that I was like, bro, how have we done this? Let me have a look. So on July 4th, we got 100 orders in a day,
oh my
which
God.
which is insane because you compare that to an I don't know what happened, but I was like, bro, I was in the store sale on July 4th, we got 100 orders. I was like, how does that happen? I thought that was reserved for Christmas. So that's another day that you definitely shouldn't overlook. I have no clue why, but July 4th, thank you. It was a good day. I could go to Nando's. So yeah, it's quite good.
That is massive.
I know, massive day of sales. Crazy. So that's another day I definitely wouldn't overlook. If you can host a store sale, try July 4th next year. Obviously, you're going to have to wait a year now, but write it down in your calendar. Store sale, July 4th.
Well, Broken, obviously, thank you for letting us have the opportunity to talk to you on the Clearly Cast today. It has been, once again, amazing to hear, your store, your orders, the amount of effort that you sort of put in your products, and obviously your information of sharing your story, but also sharing what you know best in the industry and the Roblox business as well.
Thank you for having me on.
Make sure to check out, obviously, Broken Studios on Clearly Dev, as well as their extremely well-known asset creations. Of course, if you do have any feedback for them, make sure to, of course, leave a review on them as well, because it doesn't only help their products, it also helps their store as well. Gaining that 5-star reviews is obviously a massive thing to do on Clearly Dev, and helps people to trust, obviously, your store, as I'm sure Broken Studios would know with the ratings.
Oh yeah, 100%. Ping me in Clearly Dev general chat if you have any questions. Anytime, I will be more than willing to help, just if it comes to store creation. I'm quite good at that, apparently.
Of course, for more insightful interviews and obviously community highlights, keep notified when we upload, keep creating, and of course keep sharing, and who knows, your favourite store may end up being featured on the Clearly Cast. Until next time, I'm Reese, this has been Broken, and this has been the Clearly Cast podcast, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Adios.